Let's see. Good morning. Good morning. As I am getting set up, go ahead and share and tag people into the live. Um, because we are going to end this week with a bang. I know that you guys have gotten so much from what we've been talking about this week, as well as last week. Again, if you have not listened in this week and it's the first time you're tuning in, first of all, again, you're in for a treat. Number two, go back and watch everything else because it all leads up to this point here. And so this is Morning Motivation. Welcome to Morning Motivation. And what we are doing here is we are encouraging you to not just have to wake up, but to want to wake up. We are encouraging you to soar and fly through your purpose. We are encouraging you to keep moving, to continue to push toward everything that you desire. And so that's what we are doing here today. And I have to tell you, listen, this week, I know that you've done amazing today. The fact that you are here lets me know that you care about yourself. You care about yourself enough to grow and want to begin to shift your mind on things that you may not have known that you needed to shift on. And so this week, we are all about identifying setbacks, beginning to adapt and pivot or shift, whatever word you like. That's what we're doing this week. We are overcoming setbacks. And so this week, we kind of jumped into removing the blinders. What we talked about was a lot of the times whenever we do experience a setback, we like to save face. So, listen, not trying to put yourself out there or anything like that. Trying to prove your success to others. And we also forget that we're living a life for an audience of one in order to impact many. But sometimes we have it flipped because we're living a life for many and trying to impact God. And so we have to begin to shift that and begin to make a difference in our life. And so on Tuesday, we talked about the blame game, about how times we get at times when our setbacks come, we begin to blame other people. So if that's something you deal with, go back to Tuesday. On Wednesday, we talked about making the trade. A lot of the times we begin to devalue ourselves because we're steady trying to push through that setback instead of shifting and pivoting. And so on Thursday, on yesterday, we talked about how setbacks are just happening. They're going to happen. It's what makes life life. Change is needed in order for us to grow. And so we talked about a few things there, getting us to see that we need to accept setback. We need to accept setbacks, and the reason why one setbacks come and what happens when we don't accept it, the things that we're losing when we don't accept setbacks. And so today we are going to. Our subtitle is at a standstill. And so we're going to kind of move into the vein of depression today. And so at times, depression is a heavy word because it's sadness. It represents sadness. It represents a negative time in our life. And so here's the thing. When setbacks happen, not only do we become upset, frustrated, but there are times where we get sad because it's like, oh, like, why me? Like, why do I have to go through these things? What is going on, or what's wrong with me that I'm not making the mark, right? We begin to ask ourselves those questions. And so what we are going to talk about today is how we can begin at the end. Where, like I said, we're at the end. How do we pivot? How do we begin to make the change from a setback? How do we overcome the setback? And we've been dealing a lot with that all week. But here is where we are now. And we are going to jump into the vein of depression because what happens, Braylon, can you shut that door, the laundry room door, please? Thank you. Okay. Um, Here's the thing. So the things we talked about, setbacks causes people to leave our life. It causes us to have to accept a new normal. Setbacks cause us to begin to think about ourselves. We talked about that yesterday. But here's the thing behind that. If we're not ready and we don't know how to respond to setbacks, setbacks can put us in a depression, and it can take us to a very low place in our life and to a place of where we just cannot handle it, especially if you've been hitting roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, right? It can literally pull us down, and our morale for life is not there. And so we have to begin to know how to, yeah, those things come and it does make us sad. But now we have to begin to shift and not sit in the negative thought. Because here's another thing, our thoughts get infected because we begin to say, oh, well, maybe it wasn't for me. Maybe this is not what I'm supposed to do. Maybe, I could have never done that. That was way too hard for me anyway. Why did I even try, right? Am I the only one? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Listen, we're going to be real today because why? We need to overcome setbacks. We need to begin to grow. We need to begin to push through life because we are here to make an impact. We are here in order to benefit not only ourselves, but also to help benefit other people. And if we don't have it together, if we don't begin to face these thoughts, if we don't begin to turn these negative thoughts around, to begin to tell yourself that yes, you can, yes, you are, yes, you were, this was just a setback, and not shift into the depression, right? Because depression, and hold on, let me clarify this depression. This is a circumstantial depression. I'm not talking about people who have medical imbalances or hormonal imbalances that cause them to go into a depression. That is what I am not talking about at all. Now, I am people who do have the imbalance, who have the hormonal or whatever imbalance, they are more at risk for going into the depression, which they should be more focused on how to not allow setbacks to push them into this depression. And so one of the ways that you're going to overcome going into a depression of these constant negative thoughts that are going in your mind is to begin to say, right? Stop. Don't think that. You literally I have to tell myself, I am one of those people who have an imbalance that needs medication. I am one of those people. So listen, I'm telling you from experience. So circumstantial in from having where it does come, like it's an actual thing that happens. Nothing can be happening to me. Nothing sad can happen. It just happens. Like the depression just happens. And so I have to begin to say, stop. Listen to yourself. Is that really true? What did God say about that? He didn't put you into this just to see you lose. What are you supposed to gain? Because if you're a child of God, you should be gaining, right? Even if it causes you to lose people or opportunities, there is a gain. What is it? After you talk about that, now let's take these thoughts of I'm not enough. Let's take these thoughts of I shouldn't have been doing that in the first place. That's not true. Why shouldn't I have been doing it? Because I did it, I learned X, Y, and Z. I'm ready to push on. Now I need you to think about what words what do you need to tell yourself to begin to believe in yourself again? What do you need to tell yourself to begin to believe in your purpose again? What do you need to tell yourself to begin to believe in God again? Listen, I've talked with people. I bring this in all the time because people begin to give up on God as if I don't know. I'm not even going to go down that road. But people begin to actually stop believing in God because of setbacks or because of what happens in the setback, right? Sometimes we lose loved ones. Sometimes opportunities disappear out of our hands. Sometimes we lose money. Sometimes setbacks can take us and knock us places we thought we would never go. And I'm not judging you. I can see why it would be easy because like, well, God, you told me. God, like we say these things, right? So what do you need to do in order to believe in yourself again? Believe in your purpose and your mission and your focus again? What do you need in order to believe in God again? Journal that. And so listen, this is Friday. What we talked about Monday to today is all overcoming setbacks. By Monday, when we hit our next series, guess what? You should be making whatever you need to make work for overcoming setbacks. Because last week, what were we doing? We were becoming women without limits, right? And so now we're overcoming setbacks. And so I can't wait for next week because we're going to be doing so much more because we deserve this. We deserve to see ourselves in a different light. We deserve to get the results that we are seeking out of life. We deserve in order to feel valuable, right? So another thing I want to mention to you, if you have not already, is to make sure that you register for the Do You in 2022. As I stated yesterday and the days before that, Do You is an acronym. And what this acronym stands for, Damien, Braylon, shut that laundry room door, is desire change. O, open your mind. Why? Know your why for your goals. O, organize your thoughts and ideas. You understand that you need a plan in order to reach your goals. Now, if anything on that Do You acronym hits you, such as I know a big one is organizing all these ideas and goals into one. Another is for these multitaskers who have so much to focus on. However, it's like they're busy, but they cannot do, like, it's almost like they cannot, they're doing all these things, but they don't see a result, right? So if you are one of those people, I definitely want you to sign up. Early registration is still going on, but you only got a few more days in order to jump in on that. And so that's what I have for you. My name is Alicia Richardson. I am your brand strategist and business coach. And yeah, I am signing off. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday.